Our friend Ken's here from the Sheriff's Office and CrimeStoppers. How are you?
A little bummed.
Little bummed?
Yeah, I didn't win the pizza giveaway.
Oh, I know you were trying. We should have told you that phone in there isn't hooked up to anything. We just, we like to bait our guest into trying to enter our contest, and it doesn't work. So you'll just have to settle for the complimentary massage we give out there.
Thank you.
Lots of stuff to talk about this morning. ISIS has come out and claimed responsibility for what happened in England last night. Although not a surprise. I didn't figure that they'd come out and go, we had nothing to do with that. Terribly sorry to see that sort of thing happen.
Death toll 22, is that
22
right?
with 59 injured, and they have started to release the names and descriptions of some of those who were lost. The first Manchester bombing victims were an 8-year-old girl and an 18-year-old girl.
Oh, boy.
And some of the video, in today's world, there are cameras going all the time.
Yes.
So you actually have some people with video up of when the bomb went off. I said to you off the air, there was a particularly disturbing one where you don't really see anything graphic other than there's a man who's standing in the middle of this group toward the back, and you just know he's somebody's dad. You can just tell. And it's one of those where he's just looking around like, I need to be doing something. I need to find, but I don't know what to do.
Or thinking, where's my child?
Where are my kids? Where's my kid? Where are my kids? That sort of thing. So that, unfortunately, they're talking about that death toll going higher.
Right.
But, just a horrible, horrible event yesterday in Manchester.
And the point is...
What?
What?
Yeah, you and I talked about that on here as well.
Killing innocent children and adolescents, your point is what?
Yeah. Any grievance in the world worth taking it out on them? I don't see it. But then again, I have trouble looking at from the ISIS perspective.
And how will this cowardice act improve your standing in the world?
There's no possible way it can. What it will do is it'll get a bunch more of your people killed. And when you hear some of the talk coming out of Europe, some people are kind of coming around on that concept who may not have been before. So we'll have to see. But just a terrible thing. And just the claim of responsibility within the last hour or so, although I think most people kind of took it that it was ISIS to begin with. Now, lone wolf or anything else, those details will start to come out. Let's look closer to home. You brought law enforcement material with you.
Riley, we touched on this a bit last week, but in the wake of a home invasion a couple of weeks ago involving the perpetrators dressed as utility workers, the city of Rockford issued an advisory regarding door-to-door solicitors. And I'll try to summarize this if I may. City of Rockford officials are advising residents to use caution when responding to door-to-door solicitors. Residents are under no obligation to allow entry into their home and should request the required company identification and city-issued permit from a solicitor before further engagement. Solicitation includes in-person contacts at residences or on streets, highways, and sidewalks within the city, or the distribution of written material, including the placement or delivery of such materials at the premises or on any property belonging to a third person. Residents can expect that all communication regarding the municipal electric aggregation program will be distributed on official City of Rockford correspondence, not by phone or door-to-door. Residents are also reminded to use caution when engaging with home repair companies who solicit door-to-door, notably following severe weather incidents and during the spring and summer season. And obviously, I think a week ago last night, we had the hailstorm, and that brought out the people going door-to-door. So, obviously you have to be very careful. The City of Rockford Solicitors and Peddlers Ordinance requires any person engaged in commercial home merchandising activities within the city limits to obtain a solicitation license. Commercial home merchandising means the selling, offering to sell, soliciting, taking orders, canvassing, offering service of any kind, character or description, or making demonstrations of any goods, wares, chattel, or things of value for immediate delivery, or to be delivered or performed in the future by any person who goes from residential dwelling to residential dwelling or upon any other privately owned property within the city. Authorized solicitors are bound by a code of conduct which mandates them to leave immediately at the request of the resident and not display threatening or vulgar language, behaviors, or force. Parties who would like to obtain a solicitation permit may contact the City of Rockford Legal Department.
Good idea. Yep, good idea. Look for ID, ask for ID, and don't be afraid to keep that door closed.
Riley, this past Saturday morning, there was a homicide in Loves Park. This is a brief description from Channel 13. Loves Park police are continuing to investigate the shooting death of a Rockford man over the weekend. Police say officers were called out to the 5700 block of Park Ridge Road in Loves Park around 4 a.m. Saturday on a report of a shooting. 38-year-old Christopher Peters of Rockford was found shot. The Winnebago County Coroner's Office says Peterson was pronounced dead Saturday morning. Loves Park police have arrested one man in this case on drug charges. 30-year-old Tyler Lee has been arrested and charged with possession with intent to deliver 15 to 100 grams of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a park, possession with intent to deliver 500 to 2,000 grams of cannabis, and possession of 5 to 20 cannabis sativa plants. Police say they have identified those involved in the shooting incident and are continuing their investigation, but they are still not identifying any suspects in the shooting. Anyone with information about this case is asked to call Loves Park Police at 815-654-5015.
Okay.
Surveillance video leads to the arrest of a suspected Rockford cocaine dealer. 37-year-old Jeremiah Simmons was arrested after trying to flee from police and crashing his car. He tried to flee but was tracked by a canine dog to his home where he was arrested. It began with when the Rockford police scope team received information about drug trafficking going on in the 1100 block of Benton Street. Simmons faces a long list of charges, including possession of cocaine with intent to deliver and aggravated fleeing to elude police.
Well, those police dogs are amazing, aren't they?
They're inspiring, frankly. The level of training, the level of intelligence. I have a great deal of respect for those canine officers.
I do too, and the officers who are their partners and handlers and roommates. I mean, the dog goes home with the officer. Am I right?
They do, and there's a lot of love and mutual respect in that relationship.
It's very cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
The city council last night, Riley, took time out of their meeting to honor the efforts of a local cop who chased down a theft suspect. That officer, Police Chief Dan O'Shea.
Nice job, Chief.
Rockford's police chief says he was in the right place at the right time last week as two officers were chasing several theft suspects. Chief O'Shea says when he pulled up, one of the two suspects took off, leading him on a 3-block foot chase. The quick thinking and even quicker footwork by the city's police chief earned him a new nickname, Flash O'Shea.
Oh, cops giving each other nicknames? I find that hard to believe, Ken.
Chief O'Shea says he's honored by the T-shirt and the presentation from Mayor Tom McNamara, but he wants the spotlight to instead be on his officers and their teamwork. And just from a citizen standpoint, I think one of the reasons why Chief O'Shea is succeeding in his job is because he does the jobs that his officers do. He doesn't, he doesn't hide behind I'm the chief of police. This is up to my subordinates.
Right. And I will administrate, but please don't talk to me. No, I get the idea. That's not the way.
Steve Harvey.
No, he's no Steve Harvey. And Steve Harvey was going to be chief. It was this close too. It was just, I think we went in the right direction with O'Shea over Steve Harvey just by that much. I love it. It's a great example, and many of us are delighted he's here.
There just seems to be and I will say this in the sheriff's department too, with Sheriff Caruana and Chief O'Shea, that while they are quote unquote in charge, there seems to be a feeling that they have the backs of their men and women who are on the hierarchy. They are subordinates, so to speak, but in the grand scheme of things, they have the backs of their men and women who are the officers,
which is really important. Absolutely. Now, I just want to know when's your boss going to get into a foot chase? I mean, you can't let O'Shea go unchallenged here. We need a Flash Caruana moment.
And finally, Riley, we're looking for the following 4 individuals. 41-year-old Nick Tenner is a black male, 5'10", 210 pounds. He's wanted for armed robbery with a handgun. 41-year-old Jerome Pena is a white male, 5'10", 195. He's wanted for violating an order of protection. 31-year-old Christopher Hillhouse, white male, 5'9", 175. He's wanted for a probation violation. This guy, Tuesday or Wednesday, sometime last week, we got a CrimeStoppers call on this guy. A citizen flagged down a Rockford Park District officer behind the library on the bank of the Rock River. And Hillhouse, as the officer approached him, he jumped into the river. He jumped off I believe it was the State Street Bridge, into the Rock River, and there was a search for him. And police put out a statement that they believe that this guy is very much alive, that he survived and somehow escaped. But Christopher Hillhouse doesn't want to go quietly. No. Cannonballing off the bridge. That pretty much says, I really don't want to go with you. I just know that from a few dates when I was in my 20s. And it was Jefferson Street then. But, still, I think the point remains the same. And finally, 32-year-old Deanna Gregory is a black female. She's 5'3", 185. She's wanted for domestic battery. If you have any information concerning the whereabouts of these 4 people, give us a call at Rockford Crime Stoppers, 815-963-7867, or call us toll-free at 888-769-STOP.
Fred Spear helped me get her out of the water, though, so we still ended up having some pizza. Ken, always good to see you.
Riley, thank you as always for the time.
RockfordCrimeStoppers.com.